The economy is scary. The level of uncertainty has never been higher, and I've been studying it for 30 years. So a lot of people are concerned and scared. If you are concerned about the economy, I think you need to watch this. But more importantly, you need to join school and be part of our live stream on 8 a.m. on Sunday, where we're going to bring in Adrian Hernandez to go deep on this topic. Adrian, I know you talk to lots of people. You are the person I go to for mindset. I know you just had this conversation with the team. But what are you telling people? If they're concerned about the economy, what should they be doing now?
Yeah. Well, what's going on, everybody? And there is a lot of uncertainty, right? There's a lot of uncontrollables. So what I tell the crew, anytime someone calls me and they're like, what's going on? I ask them, what can we control? Right. And for everybody that's watching this, what can we control? And on Sunday morning, we're going to talk about those things. But most importantly, I want you to ask yourself the question is, what can you control right now? We can't control what the economy does. We can't control what happens with the tariffs, what China does, what Trump does, what the United States does, what another country does. We can't control any of that. But what we can control is what I believe is the most important real estate in the world, the most expensive real estate in the world, right? And that's our mind, right? It's this right here. We have control over what goes in here, and we have control over how we respond to it and the actions we take throughout that process. So I'm really excited to go deep on that.
Yeah, I think this is such an important thing because I think in a world that is driven by social media, that's driven by headlines, let's just be clear, doom and fear does really, really well. And there are a lot of content creators who are just doom porn creators. And they have tapped into this fear mindset and they just keep feeding the masses doom, doom, doom. They don't talk about opportunity. They don't talk about what's controllable. They just want to keep feeding this cycle, man. I don't know about you, Adrian, but it feels like people got to be more intentional about what they're listening to and just cut some of this garbage out.
1,000%. And you guys got to understand that our thoughts turn into emotions. Those emotions turn into actions. However, when we look at the initial thought is what's feeding those thoughts, right? Like to your point, are you sitting there, literally just watching the news and all the negativity all day long? I have a family member who just consistently posts about all the things that ICE is doing. He is a very miserable human being right now because all that's going on is that's all that's going into the tank. You guys, you have to remember that what goes into your mind will come out some way, shape, or form. And it's important that we pour good stuff in there. I have a question for all of you, right? And just answer in the comments. How much good podcasts, good motivational, good books are you listening to compared to trash, rap, mumble, or the news? Just curious.
Yeah, put us a percentage, folks. What percent of stuff you're consuming is good, positive, versus nonsense, hate, stupidity, waste of time? Let us know in the comments what percent is healthy for you.
And that, I just want to stack on that. What conversations are you having with the people around you? Are you guys talking about what's possible, or are you talking about all of the doom that's going on?
Yeah. Yeah, it's really, really interesting to me. It's, we've heard for a long time, you're always you're the average of your 5 friends. I want to twist that in this environment. What are your 5 friends talking about? Are they talking about businesses? Are they talking about opportunity? Are they talking about family, health, religion? Or are they talking about the latest thing Trump did? Are they talking about ICE, to your earlier example of a family member? Are they talking about recession, inflation? Right? What are you talking about with your friends? And if you got somebody that's laser focused on one doom category, cut that shit out. You don't need any more of that in your life right now. Life is hard, life is scary. But the thing that really gets me, Adrian, is that this will be my 4th or 5th recession as an adult. And the best deals I've ever done happen in recessions. And if you're too buried in doom, you're going to miss them. Dude, you're not going to miss them. You're not even going to look for them.
You ain't even going to see it. You ain't even going to see it. So it goes back down to the RAS, right? Some of you guys may have heard of, and I wanted to make sure I got it right, the reticular activating system of the brain, right? In that it tells you what to focus on. So if you guys were ever going to buy a new car, let's say that you were buying like for instance, like a white Tesla, for an example, right? You would start to see white Teslas everywhere. Or if you were buying a black Lexus, you start to see black Lexuses everywhere, right? You guys know exactly what I'm talking about. Well, that's the same thing here. When we are focused on what's negative, all you're going to do is find more negative. Your brain is going to, that RAS, right, that we just talked about, the reticular activating system of the brain will automatically go and try to find it, versus programming it for opportunity, programming it to find deals, programming it to look for what's positive. What you look for, you get more of. So look for good things, right? You know, every single day now we have it's pretty cool. The crew sends a little intentions, right? And here, I'll show you guys. It's just a quick little intentions on what they intend to do today, right? So there's Nick's intentions, Stephanie's, mine, right? So just a list of intentions. And what those intentions do is they help us focus, program the RAS on what to focus for that day, what to find that day. Because if not, guys, if we leave it to, if we don't take control over it, something will grab you. The radio will grab you. A friend will grab you. Something will grab you.
So let's do people a favor. There are people out there who don't fall for the doom porn. What are some people, like, what are some names? And the name that comes to me first is Tony Robbins,
100%.
right? Who generally speaking put out good content,
right,
that people can like tap into. Because I think a lot of people don't know where to look.
Right.
So do you have a couple of 2, 3, 4 names that you're like, hey, put into the YouTube search for this person. Instead of watching the doom porn creators, watch this person, right? I think Tony Robbins is somebody we both agree is on that list. But do you have others?
Yeah, Tony, Andy Frisella. You know, Andy Frisella gets very political too, and he'll go in on deep, like what he thinks is wrong, and then he'll have you refocus on like, hey, this is what's important. Like, so Andy Frisella, I believe, along with Tony Robbins, they're the realest out there. All the other guys, I really don't. You know what I'm really going back to is like the old Jim Rohn.
Yeah, that's the name I was looking for. I'm like, the guy, he unfortunately passed away. He was old. He lived a full life. But Jim Rome, that was the name. Go type in some Jim Rome stuff and just consume. That stuff is gold.
Go listen to his book, Positive Mental. I think it's Positive Mental Attitude, or the Power of Positive Thinking. Here, let me make sure.
I think it was Power of Positive Thinking.
I believe that's what it is. And that's just that right there. Yep, that's what it is. The power of positive thinking. You guys, and that one's actually written by Norman Vincent Peale. However, Jim Rohn talks about the power of positive thinking in all of his books, right? Because Norman Vincent Peale were like one of those original icons right before Jim Rohn, because Jim Rohn created Tony Robbins, right?
Yes.
So when you start peeling the onion back, you'll see Norman Vincent Peale, and then you'll also see someone before that happens to be, it's the tape that they're playing in the movie The Founders. So in the movie The Founders, when he's getting ready, he's listening to I don't even know, what were they called back then?
The record or the 8-track?
Yeah, it was a record player. It was a record player, and he was listening to a tape over and over. I believe that was, and I forget the name of him, but that was one of the first ones.
Yeah, no. Again, this is going to be so powerful. So again, you're going to come on School. And again, they can come ask you any questions. I think we really have to talk about mindset and things you could do, things you can use to question, right? I think that's a lot of things. But let's not forget, you run a big operation. You find off-market deals. We actually just had the CEO of Property Radar on, I think 2 weeks ago.
Awesome.
And we talked about having a buy box and then sending out 10, 15, 20 mailers, because people that are like W-2 employees like me, we're not going to send out, 1,000. But
right.
we might want to send out 12 if it hits our buy box.
Right.
So we can talk about the importance of Property Radar and mailers. We can talk about buying and selling in Orange County. There's so many things that you could help my audience with. So I appreciate you coming out 8 a.m. What are your closing thoughts, and what do you want people to bring or think about for Sunday morning?
Yeah, what I want you guys to do is think about what your future life would be like if you didn't have if your mind wasn't consumed with negativity or what was going on in the world. What would life look like for you? And what I want you to do is just put yourself there, and then start to ask yourself, who do you have to become to get there? And what I want you to do is come to the call with questions on who do you need to become to get there? What are some steps you can take? What are some things you can change now to help the being? Because remember, guys, this is a being journey, okay? And I don't mean to get, I'm not a very spiritual person. And I should have started off by saying this. I don't got any of this shit figured really out yet, right? I've understood and I've latched on to some good people that have, and I'm utilizing these tools and they're helping, and I want to share them with you guys. So, think about what that's like. And remember, this is a being journey. This isn't a doing. This isn't a have. This is a being. When we shape the being, everything else comes together, but we got to work on the being.
Folks, come to this session. If you're not in school, sign up for school. If you just got to join for a month, this call is going to be worth it. 8 a.m. Sunday morning, Pacific, so we're not getting it twisted. Folks, Adrian, thank you for saying yes to Sunday. I know it's a weekend. It means the world to me. Thanks, brother.
See you guys then.